So, Alex, we are here today talking about your new film that's going to be playing at Fright Fest, Failure. But this isn't your first time at the festival. How does it feel to get invited back?
Oh, it feels incredible. I love FrightFest. I love everyone. Alan, Paul, Ian, Greg. Like, they're great. They're great. It's a awesome vibe from everyone. And I don't know, it's such different times, like right now, everybody can fly. There's no restrictions. And back then, 2 years ago, there was a lot of restrictions that we were talking previously. So it's awesome to be back. I love that I had a great time. And yeah, we can't wait.
Is it easier or scarier to submit a second time to them? It's like it's great to get in once, but is it daunting to like wait around and see if they like what comes next?
Yeah, that's a tricky one because yes, specifically this film, because this film is not like, let's say, horror. It's a crime thriller with black comedy. It has like dark elements. So it has the genre element, but it's not, it's not a horror movie. So yes, it was challenging because I was like, okay, we'll see what how they see it, what they say, and they love it. They like the film a lot. Paul liked it a lot. We saw him in Cannes because we had a screening in Cannes for the industry, and we had great comments about it. And yeah, it was cool. It was just like, wow, we're in Cannes, and then he saw it there, and then he has to review it again with everybody. But it was just like, wow, it's cool. We're going back to the UK, and I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a great thing about Fright Fest. As much as it's called Fright Fest, it's much more this bigger umbrella, like embracing the dark heart of cinema. So there's some films playing that you sort of look at on paper and go, why is this here? And then once you get into the themes and stuff that are in there, you go, oh, okay, yeah, no, this makes sense. Not all of them have to be, horrible death after horrible death. Some of the times it's the more sort of psychological stories. And this one in particular, I feel like it's probably one of them more relatable to a degree. It's one man doing whatever he can to, save his family's legacy.
Mm-hmm. That's correct, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to keep the audience intrigued because it's a one take movie. There's no cut, so we wanted real time, real situations with Ted. He's awesome. And yeah, that's what we wanted. We wanted people to be asking themselves, okay, is this person real? Is this person, like, who is this person? Like, it's kind of like a lot of conflicts coming in and out. So that's what I wanted. I'm a big fan of like showing human condition, but also, like playing around with it. So yeah.
And I mean, I'm guessing that you're a horror fan. I mean, your last film, Forgiveness, was very much the sort of, I guess, more stereotypical Fright Fest film in terms of like levels of threat and gore. But as a horror fan, what is it like to then have Ted Raimi, not only in your short film, but then agree to sign on to something like this?
Oh, it's awesome. I love horror because, horror stays with you. And it's one of those things where it's an awesome genre. Like the crowd is very, like, really awesome. When a horror audience watch a movie, it's just incredible. And having Ted, I mean, it's funny. We met almost 5 years ago. Yes, he agreed on doing Red Light, the short film. And then I grew up watching his stuff. So, 5 years ago, I was like, oh, like, oh, and now it's kind of like, it's my friend. So it's been evolving our relationship, our, camaraderie, working together. So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's I don't know. I'm lucky. I'm very lucky to be able to have Ted also like in a one take movie because it's not a normal movie in the sense of like it's asking him to do a lot. It's an hour and a half, no cuts, and not every actor is gonna agree on that. It's like it's frightening. I mean, of course, not only for Ted, like everybody, the cinematographer, the whole team behind it, and all the cast members. So yeah, I'm very lucky and I'm very happy to have him. He's awesome.
And how much planning goes into creating a one take feature? Because whenever I watch them, it just blows my mind at how well they're like Boiling Point from last year, which is set during a service that's so intricate. And here you've got, the camera sort of weaving around Ted at various points. I mean, just, in any other film, if somebody trips or flubs, you just reset. But here, if something happens at minute 87, you've got to rewind back to minute 0. So how do you prepare?
Yeah, no, that's a great question because it is a lot of preparing, it's a lot of planning, it's a lot of everything. It's funny that you mentioned Boiling Point because I love the film, also Victoria. Like I'm a big fan of one like Kurosawa, Cuarón, Iñárritu. I love them, or someone else, so Hitchcock. So it's one of those things where you really, really, really have to prepare. How I function is like I like to go to the set a month prior to the shoot just by myself. So I shoot everything with my iPhone. And then I just, my friend Juan always is like there to help me. So I'm doing like, pretty much I record everything. And then I go with the cinematographer, just the two of us, we do the same thing. And then eventually the tech scout with the crew, we do the same thing. And then eventually, with the cast, I like to shoot it just with an iPhone and then we watch it so they understand what we're doing because it's very important. And then after that, it's like the rehearsal with the camera. Like we're not gonna show that, but it's just with the proper camera, proper lighting, and then we see that as well. And then after that, we're ready to shoot. But for this, it's like again, it's just like a lot of preparation and a lot of Again, Ted is an actor who is used to the old Hollywood, shoot, which is like coverage and cutting in between. So it's also like preparing him in the sense of like, hey, we're going to do this in a one take, and he was excited about it, about the challenge, but it is not easy. Like I said, so and not easy for everyone because I'm putting them in the corner in a way, and myself including me. But yes, we had a take, for example, that it was like 70 something minutes, and then there was a mistake, and then we had to restart, and it was not usable one because I wanted the whole experience. I'm like, no, if we're gonna cut, then we're comfortable. I don't want to be comfortable. I want to be doing something unique, and everybody here wants to do that, and everyone is like, yeah, sure. So we had to do it again. It is what it is, but I love it. The experience is awesome, and everything turned out great in my for me.
Yeah, that was very lucky. Just give me 1 second. We got to get Chris that. Aurora, you can't be in here with the noise on. Bring it here. She's taken my phone. Come here. Go in your bedroom with it, okay? Yeah? Go in your room. Go on. Sorry about that.
Don't worry.
Yeah, like I say, what one take films, just hats off to everybody. I think Boiling Point was 4 takes. They wanted to do more, but they were filming right as COVID was happening, so they ended up having to sort of stop early. So yeah, and especially obviously this wouldn't have been a big Hollywood blockbuster 1917 sort of budget, so it must have very much been like every moment on the set counted for you guys.
Yeah, all of it. And we were kind of like almost in the end of the pandemic, but still like there was a lot of rules here in Los Angeles. Shooting here, it was very restricted, but it was cool that we were shooting in 22. So it was late April 22 and the restrictions were, pretty much gone, but still we needed like, wear the masks or, whatnot. And that creates also like an environment, right? In the sense on the set. And then, like I said, it's, the film, I didn't want it to feel it like my previous film, that it's very claustrophobic, right? The previous film, Forgiveness, was like, it's like a dream based and it's claustrophobic. And this one, it's more about, like I said, human condition is different. Like, yes, everything is in the house, but you don't feel that way. It's more, you feel, Ted's situations, like his characters, what he's going on, but you don't feel claustrophobic, if that makes any sense. But with COVID restrictions, that's how it felt. So yeah. I didn't want that. So I'm like, I hope it doesn't affect. And it didn't, luckily.
Yeah, and for me, forgiveness and failure are like night and day. It's kind of hard to believe that they both sort of came from the same mind. Is that something that you're keen to do, is to keep reinventing yourself and not keep giving people the same sort of film?
Yeah, absolutely. That's my goal all the time. I want to do something different. It's, if I make a movie about, like Forgiveness, which is a very, dark, and that movie sparked a lot of things. I was like, hey, I want to do something else, completely different. And also, like, the next project I have, it's completely different. That's failure. It's always good to, like you were saying, reinventing yourself, trying new things. And it's a horror one, which is cool. But it's always good. It's, when you do the same things all over and over, I feel like it's a mistake, if it makes any sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I was saying to another director earlier in the week, it's almost like being a director, and anybody in a creative, world, it's, this time to express yourself in many different ways. I feel that directors who do get boxed into doing the same sort of film over and over again, you might as well just be like working in a shop or an office. If you're going to be doing the same work time and time again, why not take these risks and reinvent yourself, and show all aspects of your psyche in some way.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%, and I feel like that's the beauty of this, storytelling. And it's like you can do whatever you want, and as long as you're doing it right, or you're experimenting or something. Like, these two are, it's in a way to experiments. Like, one was, we had the long takes, there was no dialogue, and then on failure, it's a one take movie. Anything can go wrong. Either you have a movie or you don't have one. So I like to do risks, in film as well. That's what I like. The bigger they're going now, is the less riskful you can be, in a way, because there's more budget and people that they're putting their money and their pennies. But still, like, it's cool. I like saying, hey, this is my vision, this is what I want, this is beforehand, so we all know. And it's not like we show up on set and they're like, what is he doing with his long takes? Because I love long takes, and it's inevitable. I'm gonna have them in all my movies, but not necessarily as a unique long take. But yes, in the next one I have a lot of oneers. So but yeah, I'm cutting a lot in the next one. But yeah,
they'll all be easy from here on. You can do like a 90-minute one take. Anything else will be, really easy. The 10-minute one will be a breeze.
You're absolutely right. I was talking to Marco, the producer, the other day, and it's like, we did something that, it's the most difficult task ever. So after this, we can do whatever we want, because it's just like, I have a lot. Yeah, like, Ryan Kruger is my friend from Fright Battery, or Alex Neuer, and when they watched the movie, because I already showed them, they were like, what? Like, at the beginning they were like, don't put yourself in the corner. Alex told me this, like, cut, and I was like, no, I don't want to cut. And yeah, when he saw it, he's like, oh, it works. So it's I don't know, it's a thing where I want to do it again, maybe in the next 7 or 8 years, not right now, because I want to do different things. But absolutely, I want to do it again. Absolutely, it's an awesome experience. But you're completely right, it's the most difficult thing.
Yeah. I know that you mentioned Alex and Ryan there. I think what the horror genre has more than anything else is this strong community between the filmmakers. You guys all dip in and help each other out, and advise and edits and scripts and stuff. It must be a really nice process to be a part of, and to know that all these other your peers have got your back, rather than perhaps in another industry where your peers are your competition.
Absolutely. I have great relationship with Alex Neuer and Ryan, and they're my buddies. In Spanish I call them hermanos, which is brothers. I'm Mexican, so we always say that. And yes, absolutely. I'm always talking to them, and we talk about our scripts. It was awesome in 22. Both of them were in Cannes. I was there with Ted as well. We were like, it was like a promotion for failure, to start spreading the word. So it's awesome that all of us were also moving our projects, and we were like, hey man, like, I had this experience with this, but like, we are pretty much talking about, hey, good experiences, bad experiences, and we support each other. And yes, the horror community is really, really, really we work together. It's awesome. And I have more friends that are filmmakers like that, like Josh. He's awesome too. So yeah, FrightFest, it was awesome, because in FrightFest I met Alex, I met Josh, Piers from his movie with the monsters, not with the, what was the name of the you know, like it was cool. It was cool to meet all those guys. So yeah, it's an awesome community.
And speaking of support, as you know, Fright Festers have a couple of options at any one time. Why should they take a chance on failure? What's this film going to give them?
I think that it's a, you know, it's a different film, and I think it's interesting to see Ted Raimi playing something completely different as well. He's a genre icon. He's you know, horror. He loves horror. That's his, you know, his love letter basically. And it's awesome to show Fright Fest and the Fright Fest audience something that he's awesome, but in a different, you know, genre or, you know, layers. So I wouldn't say layer, just like genre. So it's awesome. It's awesome to show them this, and I feel like, you know, being a horror fan, you'll be able to see Ted in a different like mindset, I think, and I feel like that's going to be very valuable for them. So, and I really appreciate Fright Fest for this, because I know it's it's a different one.